Hey everyone, I'm Sugandha and you're watching Ready with HR, and I hope so you all are well and you all are waiting for my sessions. These are HR course sessions and you all are watching. If you all are watching, then I'm not getting the comments, so means I'm not getting the feedback of these sessions properly, right? So please do write in the comment section, and if you haven't checked those sessions, please check it out. Let's have a quick recap what we have done till date. So we have done around 6 sessions, and the 2 sessions were, first was module 1 where we have did introduction to HRM. 2 sessions were there. First was an introductory session, second was the basic elements in HRM. What are the basic elements used in HRM? And second module now we are continuing is recruitment and selection. We have done around 4 sessions. First session was identification of job vacancies, second was job analysis, third was sourcing candidates, and fourth was screening, how we screen the candidates. All those sessions are really important. If you haven't checked them, please check it out from the pinned comment. Okay. And now today we are going to discuss interviewing, which is again very important, critical session. And this session is really a long session. So we would be doing it in parts because it will be around a 2 hour, 3 hour session. So I would be cutting down it in parts, and that is it will be in 5 parts around. So this is first, today we are going to discuss about what is interviewing, what are job interviews, and then what are the key aspects of job interviews. And in the next sessions, we are going to discuss what are the modes of interview, how to choose mode, and means what are the rounds of interviews, how to conduct interviews. So it will be in 4 or 5 parts, right? So let's get started with it, and make sure to subscribe this channel if you're watching me for the very first time, and do hit that cute notification bell icon so that you could get my updates whenever new sessions will be uploaded, right? So let's get started. What is interviewing? Let's take this word, let's deep dive into it. What is interviewing? Who are interviewer and interviewee? So first we are understanding the term interviewing generally, and then we will understand what are job interviews, right? So generally interviewing is the process of conducting formal conversation between two people, right? That two people will be, one can be a candidate and other person will be taking interview of that candidate. This interview can be for job purpose, this interview can be for granting visa, this interview can be for school purpose, like school admission purpose, this can be a college interview. So generally the word is used as interview for the formal conversations between two people. But why we are interviewing people? We are interviewing people for assessing them, to know their communication, to interact with them, to exchange some information. Like you have heard about IELTS interviews. Their interviewer is assessing what? The communication skills, the language skills, and more. So that after interview decision could be taken, and that decision could be related with the why we are taking the interview. So this is a general term, interview. Let's understand now who are interviewer and interviewee. So the interviewer is a representative of the organization who conducts the interview, right? Any person who is, any organization who is conducting the interview appoints a representative who is interviewing the candidate. That interviewer's primary responsibility is to evaluate candidates to determine if they are suitable for that particular job, position, or admission, right? And for that evaluation, what interviewer does? Interviewer asks questions, evaluate responses. Whatever the responses the candidate will give, that will be evaluated as interviewer is representing the company, and then decision can be taken out. Now next is interviewee. Who is interviewee? Now interviewee is the person who is being interviewed for the job, for the admission, for any purpose. Like if interviewer is interviewing someone, so that someone, that candidate is interviewee. Okay, that interviewee is a person who is being interviewed for some purpose. So obviously when interviewer is asking questions, then yes, interviewee will answer the question, and yes, interviewee can also ask several questions to the interviewer regarding the job or admission or anything. And yes, they have to present themselves and listen and learn carefully whatever is being asked in interview. So this is general about interviewing, interviewer, and interview. Let's move on to the job interviews. Now you might think that these are the very common things, why you are stretching these things so much, and why you are telling these things. See, these are the basic sessions. I again say, the people who doesn't know about job interviews, organization, career, how to move in career, what are the various steps, why interviews are there. These sessions are really basics. Okay, so if you feel that you don't need these things, then yes, you can skip these sessions. But yes, I would be moving from basic to intermediate and then to expert. Okay, so I will discuss all these things in detail only. Next is, what are job interviews now? So we have understood what is interview. Now we will relate this with job. Now these interviews will get related with job. So we can say like job interviews are formal conversations between employers and yes, potential candidates for a position within a company. And obviously, these interviews are a crucial part of hiring process and serve as a way for employers to assess candidates' qualifications, skills, experience, and overall fit for a specific job role. Now, see, all these things are steps in recruitment and selection. We have already set the criteria, qualifications, skills, experience. What are the basic criteria? While identification, while job analysis, we did in the second step job analysis, what all qualifications, skills, experience should be there for a candidate for the vacant position. Now what we are doing now in the job interviews, we are assessing that. We have done while sourcing as well, we have done while screening as well, and we would be doing while interviewing the candidate. Okay, so job interviews are typically conducted by one or more interviewers from the hiring company and can take various forms. It could be in various forms, like it could be in-person meetings, it could be video calls, or means phone calls, or video conferences. So what are the key aspects of job interviews? Now, first and foremost key aspect of a job interview is, or you can say the purpose, or you can say why we are doing this job interview, is assessment. What we are assessing. Now, interviews allow employers to evaluate a candidate's qualifications, technical skills, soft skills, and cultural fit within the organization. All these things will be assessed properly while interviewing the candidate. Now, I'm using the word interviewers allow employers to evaluate. Now, is the employer or is the owner taking interviews? No, not every time. If lakhs of people are working in an organization, or even hundreds of thousands are working in an organization, it's really not possible for an employer, for an owner, or for a director level position person or a senior level person to meet each and every candidate and at a very first stage. Okay, so these could be basic interviews as well, basic job interviews. So it's not possible for them to be presented over there, and there comes the duty of an HR, recruiter, representative of an employer. So here we take interviews, here HR take interviews. Now I'll request you again and I'll advise you again that if you want to be an HR, then these sessions are fruitful. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then also, if you have your company and you're struggling with these things, how to conduct interviews and what are interviews and the basic process of recruitment and selection, then these sessions could help you out in understanding the basic things and why you are struggling. Okay, so please watch these sessions completely. Okay, so we need to assess all these things. Next aspect is two-way communication. Now, what is two-way communication? I can understand the candidate and candidate can understand me. This is very important. What are the expectations? What are my expectations? What are my expectations as an employer's representative? Okay, means what are employer's expectations? So interviews provide an opportunity for candidates to learn more about the company, the job role, and the work environment. Yes, we see on the job portals that posting there 15-20 roles and responsibilities are mentioned. But still, when we have one-to-one communication and the people over there, means people in the company or the interviewer or the HR representative, they are verbally telling you face to face that these are my expectations. Are you able to fulfill? Are you able to understand? Then it creates a different level of understanding between the two people. It creates actual understanding of that 15-20 roles and responsibility when you talk to a person face to face. Like for example, over here, people are asking me again and again to take face to face sessions, or ma'am, please come, live, or please give your contact number so that we can talk to you one to one or something like that. Because they want to interact one to one, they want to have a conversation which creates simple level of understanding, which clears their doubt related to career, job interviews or something. Okay, so that's why they ask again and again. So yes, there are several modes. I have already told you. Instagram, you can text me. LinkedIn, you can text me, or over the here in the comment section, you can text me. I'll reply. But please be patient, because it's really not possible for me to handle all the queries every time. Right? There are two channels, one LinkedIn account, one Insta account, one Facebook page, and you know everything is loaded with comments. Means every social media platform is loaded with comments. So really, it's not possible for me to reply each and every comment. That's why I pick up common queries and I make sessions. Okay, so this was just a small thing to say. So this is like candidates can ask. Candidates can also ask questions to assess if the company aligns with their career goals and values. Next key aspect is evaluation criteria. Now, see, employers assess candidates, or HRs or representatives, interviewer assess candidates based on their responses to questions. And what are the problem solving abilities? How are their communication skills, confidence, enthusiasm, and how well they fit into the company's culture? Me as a representative of certain company knows that what my company demands culturally, ethically, behaviorally, technically, what all things are there. So when I interact with the people, when I interview the candidates, I can assess it. It helps in evaluation. Next is, see, there are types of interviews. This types of interviews, modes of interviews, or rounds of interviews we will be taking in next sessions. Okay, so interviews can be structured or unstructured, and yes, involve various interviewers. It could be like HR professionals are there, manager is there, team members are there, hiring manager is there, and can include behavioral, technical, situational, or case based questions. Not every organization asks all categories of questions, but when we move to mid-level organizations and large level organizations, then yes, they have proper rounds of interviews. They have a proper structured process of interviews. In case of a small level organization, it happens several times that yes, only one interviewer is there for every profile, and only one round is there, and they can evaluate in that one round that whether they have to hire that candidate or not. Okay, so this depends upon the level of organizations. More we are going to discuss in the later sessions. And last is decision making. Now, after the interviews, employers use the gathered information to make hiring decisions, often comparing multiple candidates to select the best fit for the position. We have to compare the multiple candidates. We can't do it like, okay, we have conducted the interview, and there were 50 candidates for a certain position. Okay, I have interviewed only 5 candidates, and I felt that one candidate, second candidate, was the best one among the 5, and rest 45 candidates are pending. So I have to evaluate other candidates as well. I have to interview these candidates also. I can't say, okay, I have selected one candidate and rest you all people go. No, you must interview all the candidates, then you must evaluate, you must compare, and then you should take a proper hiring decision. This is how decision is being taken. What we can do is, if we like 2 or 3 candidates, yes, we can proceed with them, and the rest, if we like other 5 or 10 candidates, we can kept them in shortlisted criteria, and then later on, if after 2 months, 3 months, 6 months we have vacancies, then we can call. We can check their profile again. We can't reject other candidates that okay, we won't be interviewing those candidates. You can take interviews and you can decide later on. Hiring decision is a very crucial step, and later on it could be that that candidate rejects your offer, and if you haven't take the interview of other 45 candidates, how you will be able to close your position? So we have to look into other aspects, we have to consider other aspects while interviewing. We should always keep different categories with us, like shortlisted one, hold one, best one, average one, so that we can check these profiles later on as, and we have a proper data bank with us in case of shortfalls. So these are few key aspects we need to consider while conducting job interviews. So this is all with the interviewing today. This is part 1. Next, in second part, we are going to discuss the mode of interviews and how we can choose interviews, how we can choose the mode of interviews, and how we can conduct interviews in the latest sessions, and each mode in detail. Like we have video interviews, we have behavioral interviews, we have situational interviews, how these interviews are conducted, what kind of questions we have to ask. We are going to discuss everything. Okay. So be here in the next session and let's summarize the session. First of all, we have discussed interviewing, what is interviewing, then who are interviewer and interviewee, and what are job interviews, what are the key aspects in a job interview while conducting job interview. Okay. Finally, we can say yes, job interviews serve as a bridge between candidates' application and their potential employment. Yes, they are the bridge between candidates' application and employment. So they are designed to ensure that the selected candidate not only possesses the necessary skills and qualifications, but yes, also aligns the company's values and goals. We can definitely say that interviews play a vital role in shaping the workforce of a company. Yes, company's workforce, how we will select the candidate depends largely on interviewing. So, by helping identify individuals who can contribute positively to the organization's success and yes, their own success as well. If they are working, they are also growing day by day. So, this is all for the day, and please do let me know if this session is helpful and these sessions are helpful. These HR core sessions are helpful or not, right? So, till next video, all the very best. Just stay happy, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.